Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Xbox Casuals, the Xbox podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is Team Delta Squad, Josh Finney.
Oh, boy.
Hi, Josh.
Oh, boy.
How's it going, Josh? How are you? Are you all right? You all right?
You know, I'm here. It's nice and rainy outside right now. I'm very excited.
Yes, that it is. It is raining here as well.
Rain in Texas in August is something that we celebrate. It was 100 outside like an hour ago, and it's dropped down to 79.
That's nice.
It's probably humid as all hell outside, but
yeah. It's just cold here. It's just cold here, man.
I wish it was cold here. It won't be cold here until like December.
Oh, well, it's about that time. It's starting. It's starting. My kids are picking out Halloween costumes, Josh.
Oh, God, it's August.
I know.
Oh boy.
So, anyways, Josh, I'm playing a lot of third-person shooters. Did you know that?
I did know that. Have you been playing a certain remastered or reloaded title, I should say?
I have. Gears Reloaded. Man, that sure is a game from 2006, huh?
I haven't played it. I genuinely have not played the first Gears. God, probably since the last remaster. It's probably been a solid decade since I played the first Gears.
Yeah, it's in a lot of ways it feels old, but in a lot of ways like it feels like I don't want to say new, but it definitely feels like you can see how games kind of evolved from that era.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a classic for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Look at how many classic games just do not hold up in the controls department.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, gameplay loop-wise, they definitely do. And Gears 1, I feel like, still does that. But, man, it's like how people used to wax nostalgic about Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
But the tank controls were bad then, they're bad now.
Yep.
And the remake just, like, totally fixed that, obviously. So,
yep.
Sometimes we need remakes and remasters, and I think for classic games, I'm okay with it. This is like I've rallied against Nintendo and Sony doing this for so long of like, oh, we're gonna do a whole bunch of ports of last gen and, you know, until this generation, you know, for each of them until their latest consoles. We're not really gonna support backwards compatibility either. And that I don't feel like backfired on them, but I definitely feel like there were like a lot of grumbles, like specifically for people like me who are like, I'm not buying this fucking game for the third time.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
well, if you bought it though, fine. Like if you bought it, like, and obviously if you're an Xbox person, you're probably getting it for free one way or another, right? You either purchased the first remaster and got this for free, or you're playing it on Game Pass, or you're just kind of like, I already played this 500 times, right?
It's a bigger point of Xbox has been all about backwards compatibility since the 360 came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's been like their thing. We went through like a very dark period of like a year and a half where we didn't have backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, and we were like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And it was at the next E3. Because I remember suddenly Games with Gold was a thing, and we got Fable 3 for free, and we were like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? So like the other ones like Nintendo and Sony though were charging you, like when they would port a game over from the PS3 to the PS4, like you're being charged and we're going to re-release the same thing on like PS5, and like admittedly they haven't done that, but like we were seeing PS2 games get carried over through multiple collections, and it just got to be really silly to me where like I'm looking at I'm like one library is just like kind of evolving with me and the others aren't. Like I understood Wii U games, at least physical games, not coming over to the Switch, but
yeah,
I think Nintendo is the most egregious. You may tell them to re-release Donkey Kong Country Returns like 3 fucking times.
Yeah, I mean they got it was Wii, and then it got the 3DS port, and now it's back on Switch. So
Wii, 3DS. Well, we got the well, yeah, I guess. I'm also thinking like Tropical Freeze. Like got that several times.
Yeah.
It's just it's a recurring pattern and it bothers me. Like I see one company like doing like, you know, really, really good remasters. And I'll even say, like, I think Sony's upscalings that they've done have been fine. Charging me $10 for something I already own, okay, fine. Like, if you want the best version of it, here you go. Like, I think I would feel less annoyed if the actual like version of that game, if you don't own any version of it, wasn't $60. I think I'd be less bothered.
Yeah.
So, and I think something like this has been handled the correct way. You know, if you already own it, if you owned it on Xbox One, you're getting the upgrade for free. It's on Game Pass, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure this is going to be like a $10 game by the holidays. It's a remaster.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, this was just a way to get it out on PlayStation. And like, they're like, well, if we don't put it on Xbox, people are going to get mad.
And that's like the core of it, right? When, you know, we were like, well, like, kind of who's the audience for that? And then we sat there and thought about it for all of about 5 seconds. We're like, oh, clearly it's PlayStation. This is just the excuse to get it on there before E-Day. E-Day is, it may not be there day one, but it's damn sure going to be there by next holiday.
Yeah. My whole thing, though, right now is like, man, this would, like, the PlayStation audience to play this game right now is like, should have just like released the trilogy at some point if they're going to put it on multiple platforms, because like, as much as I like Gears 1, it's clearly the worst of the trilogy, like, in my opinion, in terms of gameplay, story, features, multiplayer modes. Like, you know, there's no horde mode, there's no escalation, there's no, you know,
I feel like part of the reason you're not getting that, unless you were just going to do a pack with like all the campaigns together, which case just do a whole Gears collection, do 1 through 5.
Well, I would have imagined they would have done like 1, 2, and 3 together, and then 4 and 5 in a package.
1, 2, and 3, and like tack on Judgment, like it was ODST or something.
Yeah, and then like I think 4, 5, and Hive Busters, I guess, would have been a package.
I feel like they're really reluctant to do that because we all remember how catastrophic the Master Chief Collection was to Halo's reputation.
Right.
And look how many years it took them to fix that, right? So I feel like on one hand, you've probably learned from that and you're just going to release the campaigns. On the other hand, if you release with no Gears multiplayer and no horde, like the multiplayer you could probably get away with. If you release with no horde mode, there's going to be people in the streets. Like when I think Gears, that's what I think of. I think of horde mode.
Yeah.
I think of a fun campaign and I think of hours I spent in horde mode.
Yeah. Horde mode is the big one. I mean, Gears multiplayer, like whatever.
Okay. Like what the fuck ever. We have so many better third person shooters.
Like, look, all you need to do is release like one game mode and gridlock and everybody will be happy, right? Nobody wants to play any of the other levels.
Sure.
Maybe canals, I guess, right? But like, I don't know. Gears multiplayer is like for a very specific subset of people, and yeah, I mean, horde mode is the key feature, right? If you're going to release a collection, but I don't know. Anyways, it's nice to see Gears kind of come back in a weird way, even though it's kind of not ideal for PlayStation players, but whatever, it's fine. I have been playing another PlayStation game though, Josh.
What else have you been playing?
On my Xbox.
Oh, are you defending democracy?
I am defending democracy.
You know, I went to go play it the other night and realized I canceled my PS Plus months ago and did not feel... Also, my PS5 yelled at me when I turned it on, so I didn't feel like renewing my PS Plus just to play a few rounds of Helldivers. No offense to Helldivers, of course. And then I was like, man, is it cheaper for me to re-up my PS Plus or to just buy Helldivers again on my Xbox?
It's probably cheaper to buy it on Xbox.
It genuinely, it's going to be like a third or like half the price at minimum for me to just rebuy Helldivers. So I will probably do that and then cross the PS Plus bridge when more on this later. Ghost of Tsushima Legends, or Ghost of Yotei Legends, I guess I should say, comes out next year because I am super stoked for that mode. I was watching a few friends play it though in a Discord stream, and man, this game just looks so much more fun than when I played it. And it was fine at launch. I just fell off of it after like 2-3 weeks and never ever went back. Always intended to go back when they put out that big update and just didn't. But Corey, if there's one way to get me invested, by God, it's putting Halo stuff in a game.
Yep.
I will be pulling
ODST
up the AR. Just looks awesome. That was the only weapon I really got to see in action, but it looks awesome. The armor looks awesome. I can't wait.
I do have to say though, Josh, after playing Gears and Fortnite, playing Helldivers was like a bit of a weird feeling in terms of just how it plays.
It's a weird feeling, but I think it's also like it feels distinct. Like that's the funny thing. Like it feels weird as a third-person shooter to me, but it also has its own unique feel that I don't think is going to be replicated anytime soon, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I really like this, but I think that's a good first game to kind of not open the floodgates, but to like turn the spigot on with. That obviously it's Sony's most successful game probably this generation, not named Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Maybe Ragnarok. It's in their top 3 most successful games this generation so far.
Mm-hmm.
It might get pushed out by Ghost of Yotei, but it's also like very notably their only successful live service game that they've released.
Yeah.
And when I was in this chat with a few friends the other night, they were like, one of them was like, well, man, I really hope that this just, I hope this means good things, for Bungie coming underneath SIE now. And I was like, well, that's kind of not how it's working though. Like Sony, yes, they published and they gave input because of course that's what happens when you're a publisher, but Arrowhead is their own studio. They're not an owned studio.
Mm-hmm.
They're not an owned first party studio, because one of them was trying to say, it would be really cool though, like because this is so good for a PlayStation studio to do this. I was like, no, like that's the thing, they still can't do it internally.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marathon would be their first success of something underneath Sony as a games as a service title, like depending on how you feel about Gran Turismo, I guess.
Yeah, they count. I mean, I
would count it. I would count Gran Turismo.
I mean, in their financials, they count Gran Turismo and MLB The Show as live service games. So,
yeah, I guess I get that. I get that.
Can you really count an annualized game as a game as a service, though?
I mean, you can. I count Madden as one at this point.
I guess. Oh, I guess your online. I guess your online stuff and your Madden cards.
I consider anything getting like seasonal updates as a game as a service at this point. I think the bigger question is, do we consider them like their own plot, like stuff like Fortnite and Roblox and even like to an extent Destiny, I consider to be not just games as a service, but like they're their own platform at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like more in the vein of an MMO like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving seeing the cross promotion of this from
oh my gosh, dude, seeing
Xbox
Gears
and PlayStation. It's so surreal.
Dude, seeing Gears promoted by PlayStation and Helldivers promoted by Xbox this week was like what world am I living in?
It's that meme of the Crips and the Bloods holding hands, essentially. That's like what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Also, like if you're a grown ass man still arguing console wars on Twitter or Reddit, get a fucking life. Get a fucking life. Like the companies have clearly since moved on. This isn't the this is how you share a game on PlayStation type of environment anymore. Like some of y'all never grew up past that, and it's been 13 years.
Yeah, that's
12 years, meme, 12 and a half, close enough.
And that was a good meme when it happened, though.
We've grown up since then, right? Well, I couldn't even legally drink when that happened.
Some people have grown up since then. Some people.
I would hope that most people have grown up since then. But I think like if that was something you saw as like a teenager or something, then that's probably like ingrained into you at this point. Like, oh well, their Xbox has never been good. And now I see gamers going like, oh my god, I've never played Gears. Like Gears is really good. Like, oh my god, Xbox has had so many good games. It's like, yeah, they have the last couple of years, and y'all sat around parading that, oh, there's no good games, there's no reason to buy an Xbox. Like, no, there were reasons, just not enough reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There were good games, there weren't enough good games. That's an argument. I've been fighting that since the Xbox One release. Like, yeah, there was a period of like 4 years there where there really was nothing beyond like Forza worth playing. I get it. Forza and a Gears game. It's about all you got for the back half of last gen.
But what
But
about Crackdown 3?
oh my god, I actually kind of forget that happened until like
Most
you're
people do.
the third person to bring this up to me in 2 weeks. Crackdown 3 and like the other two, like one of them seriously loved that game and the others brought it up as like a joke, but like yeah, no, like Crackdown, man. I remember when we were like, "Oh, it's GTA with superpowers," and oh god, how wrong were we? Uh, I just look at this and then I think about like the platform strategy, and it's something we've said a million times over. And like, I don't think that them not going multi-platform would have helped them at all. I think we still would have continued to see the exact same discourse. But it's worth thinking: did Microsoft like have like a small tinge of regret when they saw those reviews for Indiana Jones roll in last December and go, "Damn, what if we had just held out like another year?"
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, though, I don't think the brand could have held out another year. I think you would have seen even more drastic cuts had they not done that. The reality is, stuff like Forza and Indiana Jones and Elder Scrolls Remastered, like coming to PS5, and now obviously Gears is coming over there. Sea of Thieves went there last year. Like those games coming over are all bestsellers. They've all been in the top 5. Forza is the best-selling game on PlayStation so far this year, which is wild to me. When you see things like that, you're like, okay, yeah, that's actually like that's really beneficial to like Xbox people. To people who only play Xbox, you should actually want that because now you're gonna get features for your UI, for your hardware, for your games, all funded because of things like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to convince the shareholders and the penny pinchers over at Microsoft corporate that Xbox is worth still investing in, even if it's just as a publisher at this point. Which they haven't gotten to that point yet. We will be there in like 5 to 10 years. We will absolutely be there.
Mm-hmm.
If we have this conversation in 2030, I would not be shocked to be like, oh yeah, they've gone the publisher route. Cool. It
So
really feels like that's what they're doing because that's consistent money. We've always said like, and it's a proven fact, you lose money on hardware. You
yeah,
make your money from software.
yeah. What do
Look
you
at every device Microsoft's ever tried to make, like the Surface, the Zune, things like that. They all flopped. They all did not do
Hey
good.
man, the Zune is awesome.
But they're one of the 5 or 6 most, lucrative, wealthy companies in the world, megacorps, and that's because of software. Because
Mm-hmm.
Windows is on every goddamn PC in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So
What
there
do
you
you
go.
think will happen if and when they transition to full on publisher will happen to people's libraries, their Xbox libraries? Like, what's your gut feeling tell you?
My gut feeling says that for at least like the first 5 to 10 years, it won't be a problem. Because by then everything will be so Windows based for them that it's not going to matter. Just you have a device that runs Windows. Here you go. Here's your entire Xbox library. Here's your digital library. The bigger problem is when those licensing agreements start expiring, as we've seen be the issue with backwards compatibility from the 360 onward. That's going to be your bigger issue. Like a lot of these, and I wouldn't even say like you're going to have to make agreements with companies like Ubisoft and EA and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen this. Like I'm going to use Marvel as a specific example. Marvel games have been delisted by and large, and you would have to pay the licensing fees for that. And Disney owns Marvel now, so that's super lucrative for them. Those contracts are made under the old Marvel. Disney wants all the smoke. They want all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of it for a platform holder. So that's something I would say, like, keep in mind. And I think that gets harder and harder to do as we get into a more digital age. Xbox, it's already really hard to get physical games for an Xbox. It's
Mm-hmm.
more of a niche thing. Or to get a game that isn't just a coaster, essentially. It's an installation disc. It's really, really hard to do that these days.
Yep.
So the one thing I will say so far is if you have bought a game digitally, you are still able to download it from the servers. They just can't sell it. So I think as long as that functionality is kept, then you'll be okay. But I would say if you're concerned about that, in particular, if you're concerned about that from, I would say, like 2022 back, maybe pick up some physical copies. At a certain point, you won't be able to use discs anymore. And everything that we've been hearing about, how Xbox wants to push into handhelds and how PlayStation is planning a handheld and, maybe a Switch type system, this is going to be their justification to get rid of disc drives. Just straight up. It's going to be their justification. Like, I'm actually going to buy a Series S this week and keep it in storage purely so that down the line, when they stop doing this, I can hook it up to my TV and have a 4K Blu-ray player. Because I've invested so much in physical media at this point. Because I've seen movies don't work the same way. They get delisted, they're gone. You cannot re-download, even if you purchased. They're gone.
Right.
And I'm not going down that route with certain things, especially as you see, some of the privacy laws that are coming in Australia and the EU. The UK and specifically is getting really bad with it. We're even starting to see it crop up here in the US. The age verification thing on YouTube is just the beginning, right? This is gonna be one of the full-blown worldwide conversations here in the next 12 to 18 months is digital privacy. Digital privacy has always been something, but now you're trying to restrict, countries are actively restricting the flow of information. And you may be like, well, they're preventing, and it's under the guise of, protecting kids. That's where it starts, right? And we've already seen it take a huge leap in the UK. We've seen it in Texas. It takes a huge leap, right? Like Texas has been dealing with it. Like adult content is heavily regulated in Texas. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with adult content, you can kind of read between the lines. I'm not talking GTA or, rated R movies. I'm talking, adult content. You simply cannot look at that in Texas. Certain sites are blocked, and there is a landing page if you try to go to something like that. So what's to stop that from happening to things that you've purchased in the past? That would be my biggest question going forward. So I am interested to see how they tackle this. I think that's something that, and I mean, we're seeing it on Steam. Steam has come under fire from religious right-wing groups saying, oh, you sell basically hentai and porn games on your on your service, and a kid could find this, so you gotta take it down. And what they've done is they aren't pressuring Steam. They went to the credit card companies. They went to MasterCard and Visa, and they pressured Steam into doing it. And they pressure Steam, itch.io. I think GOG has gone through this. Like, there are multiple storefronts going through this. To me, it's a matter of time until they start pressuring Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Not that they have anything like that, but this is how it starts. It's not going to end there. It's going to spread to things like GTA. Like, Australia's done a version of this for years where like games like GTA can't be sold there. They have to be specially modified.
Or like, I mean, even like in Germany and Australia, like they make special versions of Wolfenstein and games with like Nazi imagery.
I understand that. Well, that to me is that's not the restricting the flow of information or free speech. That is, we're doing what the United States should have done a couple of years ago.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, there's extreme cases where like they literally replace assets in a game too.
Yeah, and I think I'm okay with that. You're not like it's not being banned from being sold. They're still letting it. They're very well aware, and they make sure that everybody knows this is an alternate reality game, blah blah blah. But it's the way that I feel like we should treat certain things in this country as well, and that's not a conversation neither here nor there. If you've listened to us long enough, you know our stance on this sort of stuff. It comes down to, I don't think that you should lose access to something you bought simply because of laws that are being passed or pressure from outside groups. Like, if you don't want to engage with that, don't engage with it. Maybe monitor what your kids fucking do rather than, letting them do whatever they want to do. Like, it's not the game developer's fault that your kids are looking that kind of stuff up. Like the ESRB ratings are there for a reason, right? And I understand that on something like Steam and Itch, like not everything is rated. It's just, I don't know, be more cognizant of what your kids are doing. Also, like, at a certain point, hate to break it to you, teenagers talk about that kind of shit. They do. They do. Like, they're gonna go look at stuff. Like, if you think your teenager isn't, I've got oceanfront property in New Mexico to sell you. So I would not want to be a parent navigating it these days. I would not want to be a parent navigating it. I would not want to be a creative trying to navigate this.
Yeah,
So
I mean, partially some of the reason why I'm starting to go back to physical games too is just so my kids, like,
yeah,
my kids aren't looking at, like, you go on the Switch eShop, man. There's just so much AI hentai garbage on there, like, and I know Nintendo's starting to crack down on that stuff, but it's still there, man. Like, it's still.
And it's like, it's clearly not a priority for them because it's been a problem since the Switch 1 came out.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's weird, it's bad, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the right answer is. I guess I'm just trying to, protect my kids at this point in certain aspects.
And like, that's why I started investing in movies years and years ago, because I bought something on iTunes. God, this was 8-9 years ago now. I had bought something and it just disappeared. It disappeared off there, and it wasn't anything like majorly consequential, but it was like, oh, that made me start thinking, like, okay, I want to make sure that I have certain things in case they get taken down, in case rights lapse. When when companies get sold or studios get sold, things can get really muddied. And we've seen that in video games, right? Like, look how much some of these games cost that are no longer available digitally. Like, there's a retro shop in town that I give a lot of business to, and they were, showing on their Instagram the other day, they have a sealed copy of Deadpool on the Xbox. For the Xbox One, it was the re-release that happened.
Oh, geez, yeah, that's
and people were going nuts, like, oh my god, I want this and that. God, dude, the game collecting market is wild. That's why I say, like, do it now. Go to garage sales, go to resale shops. Like, if you've got a vintage stock or a movie trading company by you, go there, buy some used games.
Mm-hmm.
It has never been easier to get things from, like, before this last generation, I would say. Like, unless you're trying to get, like, NES and Super Nintendo level stuff, it's pretty easy to go in and get anything from, like, the PS2 forward.
Essentially anything disc-based.
Yeah, anything disc-based, with the exception of, like, maybe the PS, like, certain games on the PS1 are definitely really hard. Like, Final Fantasy VII is hard to get, I would say. But everything has been so printed into oblivion that you're kind of okay doing it. Again, like, if you up until you hit about COVID, that's where it started getting weird, because that's when a lot of companies just went full send digital. Mm-hmm. That's when Microsoft started transitioning over, and it was just, it's just a coaster in there, essentially. Like, I think the success of the Switch also made a lot of companies really, really reevaluate. The indie revolution definitely did that. Steam has made them do that. Like, all these things happen sequentially between, like, 2014 and 2019 to fall perfectly into place. And it's kind of wild. But, like, if the PS5 and Series X hadn't come out when they did, maybe even just like a 12 to 18 months later, we may have been looking at digital only consoles.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say that if you have a digital library, I would feel fairly confident that it's going to carry forward for a good number of years, especially for anything that Microsoft themselves has published. That's the key here, I think. If they have published it, or it was published by a company or a studio they now own, I think it is safe.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I would guarantee, though.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about, third-party stuff and licensed stuff would be the two things I would be more worried about.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how I think that's going to shake out, because things are always changing hands. Look at how much Embracer owned and then got rid of, and Krafton has bought up a few things, and, like, Sony has stuff. Like, just, we can't. At one point, Sega was thought to be impenetrable, and 5-6 years later, they're a publisher.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think you're going that route with Xbox just because of who owns them.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see down the line Microsoft going, oh, well, Xbox isn't profitable enough for us anymore. We're going to sell them. That's when it's going to get really sticky. Because I'm not saying if, I'm saying when.
Yeah.
I do think that if Satya stays in charge, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
He already tried to do it once.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how this AI stuff's going to go, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about that right now.
It all depends on, well, it's a shame you don't want to talk about it because Corey, one of our lead stories tonight is talking about Microsoft and AI.
Yes, just what I wanted to talk about, Josh.
MobileGamer.biz reports that some of the 200 King staffers that were let go are to be replaced by AI-based narrative, level design, and testing tools they helped build. AI was being introduced by Microsoft as a mandatory a while ago, said one source. The goal for last year, if I recall correctly, was having a 70 or 80% daily usage of AI on general tasks. And the goal for this year was to get up to 100% so that every artist, designer, developer, and even managers have to use it on a daily basis. Another source suggested the mandate isn't working. AI adoption is very low apart from ChatGPT. King leadership is general quite AI skeptic. So this is just really wild. Like the first comment I see here on this Reddit thread is Microsoft doing the good old meta tactic of trying to force it until it works. A clear sign it's a bubble. Meta failed so badly at this they have mostly abandoned the thing they switched their name to. And it's true. It's true. Like just a week or two ago, Mark Zuckerberg announced that they were going to lay off a lot of the AI people that they had brought in, like directors and developers and things, like people who are getting paid like $1 million salaries, and that's not a joke either. Some of these people are getting paid tens of millions of dollars, and they're getting laid off.
Yeah, I mean, they just made that big deal with Google too, $10 billion for infrastructure for their AI stuff. So this stuff, man, it's happening whether people like it or not.
Yeah, but it's happening. But I also do think, and it's funny because I've seen this GIF go around so much lately. Steve Carell in The Big Short going, "Yep, it's a bubble. It's a bubble." That's how I feel about AI. That's how I feel about crypto right now. Like crypto is a gigantic bubble waiting to burst, right? Like housing market, like everything is a bubble right now because of inflation and capitalism and all that good shit.
You just reminded me, side tangent real quick, the gas station I go to get gas before I go to work. There's a crypto machine in there. There's like a Bitcoin crypto something machine. What? It's not Bitcoin, but there's a crypto machine in there.
It's wild.
And there are handwritten notes in Sharpie all over the thing that says, "This is a scam. This is a scam. Don't use this machine. It's a scam." It's a scam.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wonder how many senior citizens have been duped by shit like that. At this point, man, it's fucking wild.
Yeah. It's just funny to see.
That. Yeah, whoever saw this coming with King, right? Like, definitely not us. Yeah, if you didn't think that this was coming for the acclaimed developer of Candy Crush Saga, who has done basically fuck all for the last 10 years outside of that, that has something like 2,000 employees, I think. I don't know what to tell you. I would love to know what kind of story beats they're generating with AI for Candy Crush Saga. I would pay so much money just to get to sit in one of those meetings.
I mean, they could probably generate, with how many Candy Crush games there are, they could probably force feed AI that code and have it generate a new version of that.
That's what I'm fixated on. What fucking story are we telling in Candy Crush?
Hey man, there's some pretty intense stories in there.
God, if we're gonna do a puzzle game that pretends to have a story and at least has characters that look fun, can I get a Peggle 3 while we're at it? I know it's the wrong company, but
I mean,
someone go find that guy from E3 2013 and bring him back.
Yeah, give us Peggle.
Jesus Christ, dude, I fucking love Peggle. I play Peggle on my phone. It's great. Peggle 2 is one of the only games I care about being able to keep for forever. That Luminous is one of the biggest culprits of being fucking delisted everywhere. Those games are up for a year or two and then they get delisted, and it's because of the music. It's because of the music, and I'm actually shocked Tetris Effect has not been affected by this.
Yeah, I wonder how much
Top
of that
10 games I'm making sure that I buy a copy of just to have for forever. Tetris Effect is one of them.
there's got to
Luminous will
be
be
a
one of them.
there's got to be a contract, especially for like modern music like that, like Tetris Effect specifically. Like, we get to use your tracks in perpetuity, right? As long as our platform exists, we need to use your music for this game because it's vital to the experience.
Yeah, so I know that when it comes to like digital music games on like the 360, for example, as long as I pop in the disc for say Rock Band on my 360, I can still buy all the DLC for it. I can still buy stuff. I can still get stuff for Guitar Hero 3 as long as I have that. I believe it might not work the same way because the 360 store got shut down, didn't it?
The online finally got shut down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Yes, last year. I am talking out of my ass.
Well, didn't they do that thing where like you could import your 360 songs into Rock Band 4?
Yes. So like because that exists on the Xbox One, I can still buy them through Rock Band 4 and continue to play them. I'm talking out of my ass when it comes to things like Guitar Hero. But if you bought it, you can still download it. That's the long and the short of it. As long as you hit purchase on it before, you can still go ahead and get it. So like if I were to pull out my 360, insert my copy of Guitar Hero 3, I would have access to all the DLC I bought when I was in high school. Which that's horrifying, and nobody should see that music library. Rock Band is a very interesting case for sure, because they've lost the rights to songs over the years. And that's just like because those they were making with entire record companies and things like that. Like I know that a lot of the full albums that they had got delisted at some point. There are certain ones you cannot get anymore. There are certain songs you can't get. Like some bands only authorize their stuff to be sold for like a year or two.
I mean,
then there's stuff that's been there since 2007.
That was the Metallica one, right? Wasn't that like the big deal? It was only available for like 18 months or something? Or the Van Halen special, like the special pre-order disc or whatever? One of those band ones was only available for a certain amount of time.
I do not remember. I'm pulling up real fast to see if I can find it while we talk. But yeah, Jesus Christ, this is such a long list. It was the exported song list. So if you bought the standalone Rock Band ones, you could only export them for a certain amount of time. Like, because I always wanted to pick up Green Day Rock Band, and I can know if I were to go get it today, I could not export it to my Rock Band library.
Okay.
Man,
I forgot Green Day had one.
You cannot redeem any of the track packs you used to be able to buy in the stores. So AC/DC, the classic rock, country, metal, country, Lego Rock Band, Green Day Rock Band. You cannot do any of those anymore. You cannot export the actual set lists from 1, 2, and 3 anymore either.
Ooh.
Those also went away very quickly, which is super frustrating.
Crazy.
So yeah, they only allowed it for like a couple of years, and then that was it. So yeah, not to like get annoyed about that again. That was a whole thing when it happened, and it's like, yeah, well, now it's happening to everything, not just one platform, unfortunately. Well, we're gonna get to Gamescom a little bit later, but Corey, we already got to talk about another show happening.
All right.
Tokyo Game Show is happening here in about 4 weeks. And rumors are growing that this is going to be Xbox's biggest presence at the show ever. So this is right on the heels of, there's rumors about a major Nintendo Direct happening in mid-September. PlayStation is apparently targeting a PlayStation Presents for late September, according to Jeff Grubb. Well, Microsoft decided they didn't want to be let out after a showing at Opening Night Live that Xbox pretty much could have done their own little stream and not done anything with Jeff Keighley and been totally fine. We've got a new story coming out. Windows Central reported a couple days ago, Forza Horizon 6 they have seen documentation that's just Forza Horizon 6 is going to be announced at Tokyo Game Show, which was quickly corroborated by Insider Gaming and Tom Henderson, who stated that, yeah, not only is it going to get revealed there, I've seen the documentation, but it is targeting a first half of 2026 release. I found this a little interesting. So, one, it's going to be announced at Tokyo Game Show because it's taking place in Japan. The most requested location for this series, going all the way back to number 2, I swear. For like a decade, people have wanted it in Japan.
Key up the Tokyo Drift theme music, Josh.
Oh my god, dude. If we don't get a Tokyo Drift content pack, I'll be so upset. They have a long-standing partnership with Fast and the Furious.
I know they've done 3 crossovers at this point.
But they did a standalone DLC at one point. Now, granted, that was dog shit, but they've done a few. Yeah, they've done a few, and there is a Fast and the Furious movie coming out next year. So maybe that would be prime to do a Tokyo Drift free promotional download.
That's what I'm saying.
All signs point to it being announced, though. I think at this point the question is, one, if you're revealing that, what else are you going to announce at this show? Like their presence at TGS has gotten bigger over the last couple of years. It used to just be localization stuff. Last year they did a lot of live service updates. They had some Overwatch news. They had I think they showed Shattered Space for Starfield again.
Aren't they doing an Overwatch Persona crossover?
There is an Overwatch Persona crossover coming. I suspect that will be shown there. I think it'll already be out by then, but that would just continue the, hey, we have a partnership with Atlas thing. But it leaves me to wonder, could they swing for the fences here? Could we see something from Jet Grind Radio's reboot? Could we see some... I think it's safe to assume that Sega will be there in some capacity with them.
Yeah.
There's an RGG Direct coming in a couple weeks. That'll be happening before that.
That Project Century, right? Did that ever get a name?
Yes, it did. I'm forgetting what Project Century, what its real name is. Stranger Than Heaven. That's what it's called. Stranger Than Heaven. I think it was at Summer Game Fest this year.
Yeah.
So I would expect maybe Sega to show up there.
Yeah,
that would be a thing.
They haven't really shown anything from that retro initiative that they announced like a year and a half ago, right? Like they haven't really shown a lot from that.
So they said they were going to be bringing multiple franchises back, and we have seen several. Shinobi just released and is apparently a Game of the Year contender. Virtua Fighter got a very big presence at Game Awards last year, plus its own direct afterwards. That's targeting either this year or next year. I don't remember which one. I really thought we were going to get more info at EVO, but Takon Fighting Souls took over that. We had a couple of other games get announced. They've pretty much the one that we haven't seen. We have not seen Crazy Taxi, and we've not seen Jet Grind Radio. Those are the two that we're missing right now.
Yeah.
Out of that initial list.
Yeah. I feel like there's something else on there that like Golden Axe or Altered Beast. I feel like those were on a list somewhere.
I think we got Golden Axe already.
Did we? Anyways, I don't care. I want Crazy Taxi, and I know you want Jet Grind Radio. Those are the two big ones. Give them to me. Give them to me, Josh. Give them to me.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, I was trying to see if I could find the list. We did get Golden Axe. Shinobi just came out. And I believe we were still waiting on Streets of Rage. I don't know if Streets of Rage came out off the top of my head. So I'm really hopeful that we see something from one of the games that has not been seen in public yet. Just give me whatever. Give me anything. I'll take it. But yeah, right before this story, there was some car company in Japan posted a picture of one of the lead car designers from Playground and Turn 10 out there scanning their cars and was like, oh, we can't wait for it to be included in Forza. And it's like, oh my God, that's how it leaked. And then we got the report from Jez a couple days later, and Tom followed it up. I thought Tom's tweet was really funny, though. I can confirm these documents have been floating around for the last week or so. There's one massively disgruntled employee at Xbox. So I do wonder what else is going to get announced at some point. I'm very stoked for this though. I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what a Horizon looks like in Japan. Like, will it be a mix of like city and countryside? You know, like
It has to be. It absolutely has to be.
I mean, you can't make an arcadey racing game without Tokyo in it, can you? Or like
No,
something like that.
Tokyo. I think to some degree, Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka all have to appear.
Yeah.
Now, here's a crazy question for you. We're in the era of Xbox and PlayStation crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
We've already seen ODST show up in Helldivers 2. Is it time for a small mini expansion to take us to the island of Tsushima?
I mean, to promote Ghost of Yote.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be that. It can just be like, hey, look at where we are. Look at where we are. Like, hey, there's this thing, and I don't know. You could do it as like a little fun thing. Like we've had Warthog racing levels before. Like, why not give me a race that just takes place on like a single race that takes place on Tsushima with like a car wrap or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just do something so simple like that. It doesn't even be anything fancy. You could just be like, oh hey, like look, this is a thing, or like you save that for when it comes to PlayStation. Because as much as people are hoping, because I really do think that this is the only question really surrounding this is like, does it come to PlayStation on day one? My gut says no. I think they're gonna hold off just a little bit. They're gonna try and get people to double dip.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think since next year is such a big anniversary for Xbox, I feel like feel like they hold off for a while.
I think that they will release it. So if the rumors are true and they're targeting, I don't remember whether the story was first half or first quarter.
I feel like they said first half.
Because
I think they want.
I feel like they said first half as I'm pulling it up right now.
I mean, they're gonna release one major tentpole per quarter. I bet. Next year, right?
That's also my belief is it will probably go Forza, Gears, Fable, Halo.
That would be my guess. I would
with Forza releasing probably like late March. Mid to late March would be when I would be releasing it.
I would say late February to mid March. I mean, mid March to late March probably sounds better.
Just because that would be like right before the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
That would be my personal guess. I can't. Seemingly cannot find it anywhere. So that would be absolutely crazy, but that would be the only. I mean, maybe that and Gears swap, but if they're gonna swap, we got to see Gears now.
It's not Gears. Gears. I feel like Gears is probably like a Game Awards game.
I think you see it at Game Awards, kind of like Outer Worlds 2. You see it at Game Awards, and then they show it at Developer Direct.
Mm-hmm. That would be my thing too. And
with the release date.
Yeah, I mean, my thing was they show all 4 of these games next year at the Developer Direct, right? Like, if it's a big anniversary, maybe those are the 4 big hitters.
So I want to talk about the anniversary real quick because I feel like they're gonna try and do something like they did with. You remember when they led up to the Series X and they, of course, COVID derailed everything, right? But saying, "Oh, Xbox 2020 is going to be the thing," right? And 20 years, 20 years since the announcement of the original Xbox. Like, I kind of wonder if they're going to pull that next year with, it's 25 years. Like, it's already going to be 25 years, right? Like, do we make it a whole year-long celebration? If you do that, I think you have to skip the Developer Direct and do an actual presentation.
Almost like almost like a spring or a winter showcase, essentially.
My thing, because here's my thing. You have those 4 games for next year. There's going to be a Call of Duty next year, right? You're going to have a Call of Duty. You're going to have another Diablo expansion coming next year. You're going to have the second Diablo 4 expansion. you're going to have presumably Clockwork Revolution and or State of Decay 3. You kind of have to, because like, what do you exclude from the developer direct otherwise? Like, I get that they're like, if we get Forza announced here, Halo is getting announced in October at Worlds. They've already said that. They've already confirmed it. My thinking would be that you see E-Day and Fable probably at the Game Awards, unless Microsoft plans their own show. Which I'd be really surprised if they didn't plan their own show at this point. And I'm not talking just a developer direct. I think you need to do like an actual show. A show. It also makes me wonder if Clockwork Revolution is maybe a first half game next year, with the ability to like flex to late summer if they needed to, considering how long of a look we got during the summer showcase.
Man, I keep forgetting how many games are in development, man. There are so many.
And that's with Perfect Dark being canceled recently.
Right. I mean State of Decay also, like that's like another pretty large game for Xbox, quietly huge for Xbox, right?
Yeah, we don't really think of it, but those games drive such massive player counts. I would be shocked if State of Decay 3 does not come to play. At this point, it's more of a story of what's not coming to PlayStation.
I mean, everything's coming to PlayStation at some point, but
yeah, I think that's like, eventually everything will come over. It's a matter of how long will it take and in what form. And when I say what form, I'm mainly talking about Halo.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think the gloves were already off that you brought Horizon 5 over, and now you're bringing Gears Reloaded. So it is a matter of time of how long until you do it with Halo. Every rumor we've heard is that the CE remake will be there day one.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if it is truly just the campaign. Does Microsoft hold off even like 4 to 6 months, just to be like, this was a celebration for us this year, for the people who have been with us since the beginning, blah, blah, blah. But next year, we're excited to welcome in a brand new group of players.
Yeah, I mean, my thought would be like,
because outside of Forza and Gears, those are not multiplayer games.
Yeah. I mean, my thought would be like, this would be like almost like a last hurrah of like,
kind of,
for the Xbox as a console, essentially, like as a,
and it kind of remains to be seen, like, is the next console coming next fall, or is it coming in 27? Everything we've heard is 27, but who the fuck knows, man? Generations don't exist anymore.
I mean, it essentially probably depends on how the ROG Ally does this fall, right? I mean, and see what they need to fix.
Yes and no. I mean, I'll tell you the number one thing they have to fix. They have to fix the fucking price. We got that story. Let's just get into it. We got that fucking story. The ROG Ally X, something that we saw at the summer showcase. It got a lot of hands-on at the Gamescom that just happened. It is launching October 16th. We have that. We also have some pricing. This is, oh boy, if Billy over on Blue Sky is to be believed, the ROG Ally is going to cost $550 USD. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's not, it's not great, but it's not horrible. Oh boy, the Ally X, $900 USD. It is worth noting we do not have official pricing for this yet. These are rumored prices. I would be shocked if these were not the prices, but Microsoft put out a statement saying, we do not have pricing available to you yet because of volatile market conditions.
Love that.
Or evolving market trends or something like that. Like, it was a very not thinly veiled shot at a certain United States president and his inability to commit to anything for longer than like 5 minutes at a time regarding trade deals. So I'll tell you right now, at $900, this is a pass for me. I would love to get one of these bad boys. This is kind of in line with what the first ROG did when it came out.
Yeah, I mean the current
one, the Z1 Extreme in particular.
Yeah, I mean the current one at Best Buy, the 2 terabyte one is sitting at $900. The current one. So
yeah, this is the biggest of passes for me, and I don't say that to be like, Xbox is fucking us. Like, no, I think this is actually a really sleek device. Every single person I've seen that has played it has been, even if they're not traditionally an Xbox person, has been like, this thing is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's great. The problem is, and was always going to be, the price.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft has some plausible deniability here because this is a third-party device. I think they're going to sit back and they're going to observe this. We heard that they were kind of halting R&D on a handheld. I think that's going to spin back up the second that this is out and they see the reaction to the price.
Yeah, if it's sell, like, there's a point where,
but how much is Satya willing to subsidize is the ultimate question.
Well, here's the thing too, is like, it's got to hit a certain point for them to even consider it's got to sell a certain amount for them to consider doing R&D back on their own handheld. But it can't sell enough for them to be like, oh, people want this device instead of ours. But it also like can't not sell because then they're like, oh, well, the market doesn't want a handheld.
Yeah.
Right. There's got to be like that. There's like this thin line.
And there's like this rumor going around that like PlayStation might have a 3 SKU thing next generation with like the home PS6, the Switch version, and then the handheld only one, which would basically be PSP 3. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, I've definitely heard the 3 one. I've also heard they're doing more of a main console and then a companion device that is it would essentially be a Series S in a handheld, right? And they would talk to each other essentially,
which is what we've always heard for Microsoft. That's what we heard for Xbox for the longest time, was that was going to be their approach with 2 SKUs.
Yep.
They may have just decided, hey, it's not worth it to do more than one home console. Like it's funny because like yet again they were too early to the party.
Yeah.
Because now, if everyone's going to be making a device like that, everything has to be optimized to run on handhelds. You can't just say, oh, you have to have a high-end PC or the most expensive version of a gaming console, like the PS5 Pro, to properly run the game. You can't have another Cyberpunk 2077, essentially.
Yeah, and if the PlayStation 6 prices are as low as some tech people are suggesting,
which I think is batshit, by the way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
$399 to $499.
There's no fucking way. That is the most fucking copium in the world.
That's like I don't if the PlayStation 5 Pro wasn't $700 or $750 now, like I maybe, but also like
I would also say like I'm kind of laughing at those people because the Switch 2 is going to go up in price the minute we get past Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
If not before. Like, the minute that stock is exhausted in the US, guess what? Nintendo raised the price on an 8-year-old console, man.
Yeah.
Like, an 8-year-old console got a price increase. Don't fucking tell me that it can't happen.
Yeah, and the only reason why I feel like the only reason why they raised the price on the old console is two reasons. One, to push people to the Switch 2, and 2, because they just like unofficially raised the price on the Switch 2 before it launched, so they can't do it again, right? I mean, I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going on.
There's some fuckery going on here.
Yeah.
There's some fuckery.
Man, remember when consoles used to go down in price? Josh?
Yeah, I was talking about that with a friend the other day. I was like, God damn, man. I miss that.
Those were the days, huh?
Well, speaking of the Xbox Ally, GOG has also added, just a couple of quick things to fire off here. GOG has added an Xbox login feature, basically saying, we're waiting for you on their social media. So that's cool. It's a GOG, of course, DRM free. They are someone I plan on supporting a lot more once I am on a handheld and on a PC. What are some other things we've got here? Cloud gaming is coming into more Game Pass members, along with select PC titles for all Game Pass subscribers. I think that's interesting. Members of the Insider program are getting access first. Game Pass Core or Standard users now have even more freedom to play wherever they are with Xbox Cloud Gaming. As part of the Insider Experience, you'll be able to stream cloud playable games included with your subscription or select cloud playable games you own, making it easier to jump in from any supported device. We'd heard the rumor about this. I do think that this is part of the big push to get console gamers interested in buying a ROG Ally. Which, here's the thing. We are interested, just not at the price point.
Yeah. Man, if this, even
that
if it was
continues to be the problem.
Even if it was like $600, I would.
If it, probably... I will tell you right now, for the specs on that thing, if it landed anywhere between like $600 to $700, I would consider it. If it ever dipped below $600 on a sale, it would be an insta buy for me. It'd be an insta buy. So. And I say that as someone who spent $500 on a Switch 2 when it came out to get the Mario Kart bundle. I would happily spend an extra $100 for the premium version of the Xbox Ally. But the reality is, with the Switch 2 being $450, there was no way that they were going to match that with the base version of this. There was no fucking way.
Yeah.
It would have been nice, but there was no way.
I almost wonder how it would have done if it would have come out before the Switch 2.
I wonder that too, and I think right now Sony is kind of sitting back, sipping their tea a little. Like Mark Cerny is just giddy that he was not the first to market with.
Oh, I know,
because they've had two handhelds that did not go over particularly great. Now, that's not to say my personal feelings. I loved the PSP and the Vita, but it's the Marty McFly, scene of I guess you guys weren't ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it. That's how I felt about the PSP and the Vita.
Yeah, I mean, plus like the way handheld games are played now, though, it's way different than that.
Well, like, and we're such an on-the-go society. People are downsizing, they're minimizing. Look how many people in their 30s are moving back in with their parents because they're fucking homeless.
Yeah.
We cannot afford homes. Rent is astronomical. It's never been this expensive. The Asia market and the Europe market, who their houses aren't as big as they are here in the US. They don't have entire rooms dedicated to like having a big screen and a console and shit. These types of consoles are going to do gangbusters in those markets. It's just a shame that Xbox basically has already exited them. They're really clinging to that, trying to believe that Asia is going to work at some point, and maybe cloud is what does it for them finally. But I can't imagine now that you're bringing games over to the Switch 2, they're not going to care. Even PlayStation is struggling over there these days.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation's been struggling over there for a while. I mean, that's why they released the PS4 and the PS5 in Europe and the US first. It's because they didn't care. They
closed Japan studio, which is still a crime against humanity.
Yeah,
we still mad about that one.
We did get Astrobot out of them, though.
You know what's not a crime, though? Xbox Studio Double Fine claims to be working on multiple games, all new IP. Apparently, this is a direct quote from Tim Schafer during Gamescom. We are making other games next to Keeper 2. We have multiple games going on in the studio. The thing I will say is they are all brand new IP. We're very excited about sharing them someday. So, which is a bummer, slightly, because I think that's going to dash people's hopes of them doing Banjo for whatever fucking reason, but also it's going to dash the hopes of a Psychonauts 3 anytime while I'm still young.
Psychonauts 2, by the way, PlayStation game.
That's also just so weird to see for me. I love it, but it's very weird to me.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2, one of the best games of the generation. Go play it. I'll take any more Tim Schafer. The one that I saw a lot of people, everybody has like a different reaction to this. Mine was Psychonauts 3. So others were Banjo, even though Tim has said for years he would never make a Banjo game. The other one I've seen a lot of people getting upset about is, man, this means no Brutal Legend 2. Like, there's still a lot of hope going on for it. So, but I think that Tim Schafer and Double Fine are at their best when they get to do whatever they want to do. I need Keeper to stick the landing so badly.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely so excited for Keeper. one of my 3 or 4 most anticipated for the rest of the year, like simply because it's a Double Fine game and it's a smaller scale Double Fine game.
Mm-hmm.
This also means no Costume Quest 3, which really bums me out. I've really been hoping we would get one of those. I love Costume Quest. I play Costume Quest every single October. I think it's a blast.
Yeah.
Especially number 2. Number 2 is a fucking masterpiece. 5 Ubisoft games have been acquired by Atari and are all going to be re-released, including Cold Fear, I Am Alive, Grow Home, Grow Up, and Child of Eden. Child of Eden is maybe the most interesting one to me because that was a Kinect game. Or you could play it with anything, but it was marketed as a Kinect game. So
it was definitely a Kinect game that they patched later to where you could use controls. I also remember it ended up coming to PlayStation later, I think, and you had to use Move controls, I think. Or like
most likely.
Was it a Move game or was it a VR game?
It was probably Move because VR didn't come out for like another 5 years after Child of Eden did.
Yeah, I knew it came to PlayStation much later than Xbox was my.
The one that I'm really surprised that they sold is Grow Home. A little surprised on that one, or excuse me, I'm thinking of a different game. Still very good game. You should definitely play it. I'm thinking of Gone Home is what I'm thinking of. That is definitely not a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, definitely not a Ubisoft game. Close though.
Yeah, definitely not a not a Ubisoft game. Fulbright, I'm sorry that I said that. I'm very sorry.
Whoops.
So that's happening. Atari has gotten those. They're going to re-release all 5 of those. Imagine that, a game company doing something beneficial to other people, though.
What? Who does that?
Yeah, you can still buy I Am Alive, Child of Eden, and Grow Up on the digital storefront for Xbox. So I think that's interesting. But I am very, very, very excited. I would like to see more with Child of Eden. I thought that was a really cool thing. This is also apparently the first time that Cold Fear and I Am Alive will be available on any Xbox post 360. So
interesting.
Yeah, a little interested in that. I'll definitely check it out. In other franchise news, the developers of Expedition 33, Sandfall.
Yes.
Sandfall's Guillaume Brochet has said that Expedition 33 is not the end for the series. Clair Obscur is the franchise itself. Expedition 33 is one of the stories we want to tell in this franchise. Exactly what it will look like and what the concept will be is still too soon to announce, but what is sure is that this is not the end of the Clair Obscur franchise. Thank fucking God. Thank fucking God. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
This is, with almost 2/3 of the year down, this is my game of the year still.
Yeah, it's definitely my game.
I'm not going to sit here and say that there's nothing that can top it, because there are, by my estimation, there are at least 3 games that have the potential to rival it that are still to come out, and one that I have not played yet. That one being Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then the ones that I'm ultra excited for being Outer Worlds 2, Ghost of Yotei, and of course, one Hollow Knight Silksong. But yeah, right now it's in pole. Oh, I guess I should say that I also haven't been able to play Split Fiction yet. So Split Fiction and Blueprints are 2 I need to get to from earlier this year. So I've got a lot of catching up to do this fall, man.
Yeah, you gotta catch up, man.
I know, but yeah, Expedition 33, it's awesome. The fan base around this has been so weird. People are playing this and acting like they've never seen a turn-based RPG before, which is really, really funny to me. It's exposing how many people have never played any sort of JRPG in their entire life, other than like maybe Pokemon.
Yeah, I just think that this game did something to bring people back into like.
Oh no, it absolutely has. I'm saying the people who have become hyper fixated on it in a very creepy way.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is Last of Us levels of people just dick riding it. And that, listen, this is such a good fucking game. This is easily like a 9.5 for me. Easily. It's one of the best RPGs I've played in years. But it feels so weird coming off of playing, Final Fantasy games. I've played Final Fantasy my entire life, playing the entire Persona series over the last few years, playing other turn-based RPGs and then being like, guys, you do know there's an entire genre devoted to games like this, right? Like, you are aware.
Yeah, I feel like this game kind of presents it though in like a Western eye, that like some people are kind of turned off by the whole anime trope,
which
thing.
Is funny because this is like some of the most anime bullshit I've ever seen.
Sure it is, but it's also like not anime, like drawn in the, or
what I would take out? I would take out the fucking mimes. They creep me out, man.
Yeah. Plus, like they slap you once and you're dead. So,
I mean, they're a good test of skill. But yeah, anyways, I say all that to say, Clair Obscur, an amazing game. My front runner for game of the year right now. Just, man, I need some of the fan base who like clearly have not. It's the same thing I said around Black Myth Wukong last year. Like, you can very clearly tell who has like only played annual release games lately, and then they finally got encouraged to go play something else, and they've just like hyper fixated on it as like their one game of the year. So it's really strange to me. It's there's a game every year like that. Baldur's Gate 3 was one of those, and I mean it's funny because I'm saying all three of these, and these are all really highly rated games. Two of them more so than the other. It's like a sandwich of good games, right? Like Wukong, definitely a lot more divisive opinion, but like Baldur's Gate 3, one of the greatest, turn-based games. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, that's the game that we should be talking about, like being like the greatest turn-based game ever. It very much is. Like, that's a westernized turn-based game for you. It is literally D&D the video game. But yeah, I say all that to say I'm very excited for Sandfall's next game. I think a lot of us will be tuning in with great expectations for it.
We will watch their career with great interest.
Well, before we get to a little bit Gamescom roundup, we gotta address a few elephants in the room. Number one is Crystal Dynamics has laid off an unknown number of people this week in wake of the Perfect Dark cancellation nearly 2 months ago. Man, was it 2 months ago or was it 1 month ago? I don't know. 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Summer has just kind of blended together. Man, Crystal Dynamics has clearly been having trouble for a while post Avengers. And this is just like another ding. And they're being run by oh my god, we made fun of them earlier. Embracer. Yeah, we made fun of them earlier. But their official statement says, we made a very difficult decision to part ways with a number of our talented colleagues as a result of evolving business conditions. This decision was not made lightly. It was necessary to ensure the long-term health of our studio and core creative priorities in a continually shifting market. Blah, 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 blah. Tomb Raider remains unaffected by this decision, essentially.
Great. Where is it? That's my question.
I have no idea. This is clearly still a ways off. I just feel like maybe you get a proper like CG trailer or something at the Game Awards.
I mean, dude, Tomb Raider's been gone since it hasn't even appeared on this generation yet.
No, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the last one, and that was like a 2017 game.
It was an Xbox One game, and it wasn't even made by them. It was Eidos Montreal because they were working on Avengers.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 2018 was when that came out. Also, not nearly as well received as the reboot and my personal favorite Tomb Raider game ever, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I really
a goddamn masterpiece.
I really liked Shadow of the Tomb Raider a lot.
I never finished it. Chelsea is the biggest Tomb Raider fan I know, and she also did not finish it, so that kind of told me everything I needed to know.
It was definitely divisive.
I believe that the next game is completely unrelated.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Which is frustrating.
Yeah, I really like this version of Lara. I feel like what they're doing is probably lining it up with the show, right? Because Sophie Turner is Lara Croft in the new show, right? So
yeah, I was confused for a second because I was like, show, and then because all I was thinking of was the animated one, which definitely is in the reboot continuity.
yeah, Haley Atwell, man.
Yeah, I personally did not mind the anime that they came out with. I did not think it was bad. I think there's a season 2 in development currently.
Yeah,
I did not think it was bad. It's not amazing though. So
no, but I feel like there's only so much you can do with Tomb Raider at this point, and like they did their whole reboot thing, and I feel like if you go back to like 90s Lara, there's going to be a bunch of like, you know, any way you go with it, there's going to be some sort of like anger at it at this point. I don't know. I feel like Tomb Raider's in a weird spot.
It's one of those franchises that, like, as much as I like it, it's okay to let it just go away. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand why people liked the original Tomb Raider games. Then you had the really bad games on PS2. And then you got the reboot trilogy. And when I think of Tomb Raider, I'm going to be real. I did not play Tomb Raider as a kid. My first, or on the PS1, I guess I should say. My first exposure to playing, or to Tomb Raider, period, was the horrible Angelina Jolie movies. And then playing it on PS2, which also not great. I was like, why do people like these games? And then, so much so to the point that when the reboot came out, I didn't play it. It came out on Xbox One a year later in the re-release, and Chelsea bought it for me. She was like, I love Lara Croft. You need to play this. I resisted it, and I played it about 6 months later and was like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is awesome. Same with Rise. Rise was incredible. I was there day one for Rise.
Yeah. I feel like man, I really liked the Legend trilogy, I think is what they called it at this point. The
PS2 ones.
Yeah, Legend, Underworld, and the Anniversary. Anniversary wasn't very good, but
yeah,
I really liked Legend and Underworld, but also I don't know if I even knew any better at that point. So
yeah,
have not played since then. So
what else do we have here? So that's one story. We do have another round of layoffs.
Great.
2K Games has laid off 80 developers at Cloud Chamber, which is about a third of the studio. This new BioShock 4 has been in development for more than a decade across multiple studios. This coincides with Rod Fergusson. We just talked about him a couple weeks ago. We called it.
We did call this.
He has joined Cloud Chamber. I couldn't figure out if he was going to save BioShock 4 or if he was going in to save Judas.
Yeah, I feel like BioShock's the safer bet because he knows the series and like what it's supposed to be, right? And Judas is kind of like, even though it clearly looks like a BioShock game, it's not a BioShock game, and so like, you know.
Yeah, do we have any hope that BioShock 4 is going to be good at this point?
Well, now that Rod's there, I have. So there's also
could we just get a little bit of faith?
Well, there is also a thing too where Strauss Zelnick came out and said like, BioShock 4 is a good game. We want to make sure it's a great game when we release it. So like, I don't know. I feel like 2K has been a little bit more diligent in terms of what they want to put out as quality, right? And so I think BioShock 4, it's definitely not going to be as revolutionary as 1, right? Or even the DLC for Infinite, right? But I feel like it's going to at least, I feel like it'll hit a quality bar that people will be satisfied with.
Yeah, say what you will about Rod Fergusson and the games that he's chosen to work on, but that man gets shit shipped.
The Closer. That's what they call it.
I mean, I'll never forget when Infinite was getting ready to come out, and they realized after a press showing to the game, like months before it was supposed to, a couple months before it was supposed to be released, that they had an awful product on their hand. And that's when he was brought in and at the 11th hour and basically redid the entire game over the next year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And saved
I mean,
it.
that game was in development for what, like 6 or 7 years, which was unheard of at the time.
Well, he also got along with Ken Levine, which is the wildest part.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like their personalities clash, or their like development styles clash. Like they mix well together.
Yeah, Rod is basically willing to be the guy to put his foot down and be like, "No, we have to finish this feature now."
Yeah, which is a good thing.
And of course, we've documented about how then he left there, went to go do Black Tusk, and was offered Gears and jumped at it because he loved Gears. That was really the game where he broke out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gears 2 and 3 specifically.
Does Gears 2 and 3, leaves to go do Infinite, comes back, heads up the revitalization of Gears with Gears 4, 5, and Hivebusters, bounces to go take over Diablo, which he described as a dream gig, and basically saves Diablo 4 from development hell.
He shipped Diablo 4. He shipped Diablo 3 on. He's got the Switch version running correctly, right?
So he shipped Diablo 4. He got the Switch version for Diablo 3 running correctly. He shipped Diablo 2 remastered.
Mm-hmm.
And Vessel of Hatred. He got because he was the franchise director. It should be noted he was not the game director. He's the franchise director, but he came in the wake of them firing everybody.
Right.
In wake of the Me Too scandal that rocked Blizzard.
Yeah.
And he was brought in to basically save the franchise, and that's when he appointed the current game director of Diablo 4. Who I believe will be taking over as franchise director now. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they said.
I think Joe Shelley is going to be taking over as franchise director. He was very clearly being groomed for it. If you've paid attention to anything going on the last couple of years with Diablo, and I mean, talk about somebody who just like surged and went running away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's already overseeing whatever is next for Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not entirely certain.
Mm-hmm.
So interested to see how that goes. Also, I don't have the story pulled up, but the Diablo team at Blizzard officially unionized today.
Yep, I saw that.
450 developers on the Diablo franchise have unionized. This follows unionization from the World of Warcraft story team and from the Overwatch team. I think Overwatch QA. So, hey, always going to support that. That's the biggest group that's done it at any North American studio, to my knowledge.
Yeah, it's interesting that both of these unions are Microsoft. Like, the Raven one and this one are like
after everything that's fucking happened there the last couple of years, I'd be unionizing too.
Yeah, I mean,
you kidding me? I mean, I'm in favor of unionizing, period. But and then we've got a story we got to talk about here. Chris Hansen is investigating Roblox for child safety failures.
Shocking.
I got to pull up this exact statement from him over on Twitter. It's a video statement, so I can't transcribe it. But basically confirming that it is true. Man, oh boy, this is gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing because if Chris Hansen comes for your ass, there you go. For those of you who do not know, or maybe outside the U.S., Chris Hansen was on To Catch a Predator. He was the one who would
He still does it on YouTube now.
Oh, does he really?
Mm-hmm. He has his own YouTube channel.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, this used to be primetime television.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is in fact doing a oh boy, he is doing it. He was in touch with some Roblox people and was like, yeah, here you go. I would fucking hate to be a community manager or a comms person at Roblox right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's definitely
He beat Jason Schreier to this. Jason probably could have written an entire book about it.
I'm sure he already is.
It's gonna get so much attention now that Chris is doing a whole thing on it.
Yeah,
that's like people who don't care about video games are gonna see, oh, Chris Hansen took down a video game. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's this is
because I don't think I can accurately talk about how predatory Roblox is and how predators are so easily able to use that to talk to kids.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's insane to me. It is absolutely insane to me. Like if I had a kid, I would never let them touch Roblox.
I mean, that's why it wasn't on PlayStation forever, right? It was like, because there were no safety.
Because there's guidelines. No safety. There's nothing. It's paper thin.
And I think, doesn't PlayStation have its own Roblox ecosystem so they can keep an eye on it or something weird like that?
They were supposed to.
I mean, I don't really know if it does or not, but that's what I thought was the agreement, and that's why it finally came to PlayStation. But I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
Roblox has also been sued by the state of Louisiana. So I tend to be a little on the fence, to put it very mildly, whenever I see states like Texas and Louisiana suing corporations. But in this case, I'm going to have to make an exception. My problem is, going back to the earlier conversation we were having about like digital privacy and ownership and censorship and things like that. This is the domino I fear takes it in the wrong direction. This is going to be used as justification for a lot more shit. All because Roblox couldn't solve this in-house and chose not to. Like there's been years of data. Like the Roblox thing has been known since like 2017, 2018 at least. That's when I was becoming aware of people talking about it on Reddit.
Yep.
It's been a thing for years and years and years. I just that is absolutely the most predatory platform out there, I think, for kids.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not. It's horrendous. But I do hope that this brings awareness to parents at the same time of, please be aware of what your kids are consuming and doing on the internet. Holy shit.
Yeah. Be aware of it, because it's I don't understand.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying.
I know. I mean, man, I get those are the type. This is why I mean, my kids aren't old enough to even like know how to even use that, but also like, man, it's so
sorry, you're not allowed to, like, straight up.
Yeah.
I have friends with kids that are old enough to start engaging with that, and they have had to be like, no, you can't. Like, I don't care if all your friends do, you cannot. You can play Fortnite all you want.
Yeah.
You cannot do this.
Yeah. My nephews are really into Roblox, and I'm like really concerned for them.
That's when I would start having conversations with that. Obviously, not to give parenting advice. I would start having conversations at that point. Like, if you have someone who has kids, like, have that conversation with them and be like, please make sure your kids are not playing this. There are so many things they can play with their friends without it being in a predator environment where you can control who they are playing with, who they can accept friend requests from. Like, I am a huge supporter of parental controls on consoles. I really am.
Yeah. The other thing, man, the thing that concerns me too, though, is like, some parents just don't want to deal with the parental controls, so they sign up for the adult version of
so stupid.
I know. And then they wonder why kids spend like, $500 on V-Bucks or whatever else they're playing, right? Like,
or they're buying a lot of hentai games.
Yeah.
They're the reason the MasterCard is banning stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to a lighter topic for our final one. Gamescom opening night. Let's just fly through some of this real quickly. It's not a Gamescom opening night announcement, but I feel like we got to lead off with the biggest story out of Gamescom. Silksong is real, Corey.
Great.
I'm glad everybody can shut up now. We will be playing Silksong.
You will be playing Silksong. I will not be playing.
I'm so excited for this game, but it goes back to the Expedition 33 conversation of I really hate how there are so many people online who have made this game their entire personality.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Every
It's fucking
indie
weird.
game creator ever.
It's just so weird. Like, I mean, this is like my first real exposure to like an indie game community like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I always knew that it was like this for like Undertale and Deltarune, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not involved in those communities. That's not a game that like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really appeal to me personally.
Night in the Woods had that for a little bit. Oxenfree had that a little bit when
Oxenfree definitely had it for a little bit, but not to the scale of Hollow Knight.
No. But also, like, it didn't take 7 years for the sequel to
Yeah.
Oxenfree to come out, right?
I did think Jason Schreier did a really good piece on this game and on Team Cherry, basically saying that yeah, we just chose not to really talk about it publicly because one, we knew people would get mad, and two, we weren't ready to talk about it. Like, we just kind of took our time making the game we want to make. Like, you know, they just kept delaying for the love of the game, essentially. Like, not memeing.
Yeah.
So while I'm happy that this is happening, maybe you shouldn't have been a part of the Xbox showcase where they promised everything was going to be out within the year.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have the, hey, there's a fucking war going on excuse.
Right.
Like GSC Game World, and we still got Stalker 2 before Silksong.
I know.
So I am excited for this. I do quite like Hollow Knight 1. I'm not in the camp of thinking it's like one of the greatest games of all time. I do think it's exceptionally challenging. I think it's one of the better Metroidvanias out there. I'm very excited for Silksong, but there is almost no way this game lives up to the hype. There's almost no way. Like, people have made this. I mean, you talk about games that we've seen this with before. The Last of Us Part 2 is one that I instantly think of.
Mm-hmm.
People have built it up with this mythological expectation of how good it should be. We saw it with Starfield. Starfield's a more recent good example, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just built it up mythologically in their heads to what it was supposed to be because it had been rumored for so long and it had been absent for so long, and then we saw it and this and that. There are going to be people who are going to nitpick this game to death on one side because it's not absolutely perfect after 7 years of development. There's other people who are going to sit here and they're going to say it's 10 out of 10, it's the greatest thing ever, and not be able to acknowledge any potential faults that it has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a really weird situation all around. I'm really glad that Team Cherry seems to stay off the internet. They have to be aware of the cult of personality that's formed around this game. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm super stoked for them. This game is going to be instantly profitable from day one. They will be able to make any game they want to make for the rest of their lives after this. Because on top of that, you also have a Game Pass deal.
Mm-hmm.
Day one on Game Pass. It's one of the games they're really, really pushing for the Ally X. I think that's great. It's like one of the first 3 or 4 games that is Ally X certified. It was front and center during the game showcase this year when they were talking about it. And they were like, we can promise you that Silksong is going to be out before this. And a lot of us thought it was going to release on the Ally X day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us believed that. I believed it personally. Mm-hmm. And for them to have their own announcement, which was only 2 minutes long, I think a lot of us were like, oh, it's just going to be like a trailer or something. And then they announced it was coming out in 2 weeks. That caught me off guard.
I thought it was going to be shadow dropped at Gamescom, to be honest with you.
I think a shadow drop of that magnitude, I don't think they could have kept it a secret. And I think let me tell you, the only reason I think that it did not get shadow dropped is Game Pass. Because people would have seen it loaded into the back end.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
Things like to show up in the app. They would have had to officially list it on the Xbox store, which it had not been up until the Gamescom announcement.
Mm-hmm.
It would have had to have been loaded up on there and put into the system to be able to download, because otherwise you're risking your whole network crashing because people are going to rush to download it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm excited. I can't wait to play this. I'm very excited. A far cry from Hollow Knight 1 that I played on my Switch way back when it released. So Excited to play it. It's it's going to be one of the best Game Pass drops of all time. Just right off the bat, even if it's not as good as Hollow Knight 1, it's still like that's as far as high profile indies go. I don't know if you can get more high profile than that. Like, coming out and telling me Hades 2 is going to come day one to Game Pass would be one of the only ones that would rival it, I think.
Uh-huh.
So playable on the Switch 2 at PAX this weekend, by the way.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not at PAX.
Sure obviously, neither one of us is at PAX. We both plan to go. And then, life got in the way, and plane tickets got really fucking expensive.
Oh my god, dude! Plane tickets are the worst.
Plane tickets got expensive, and planes got a lot less safe. So yeah,
I mean, the world got a lot less safe.
Yeah, you're not catching me on a plane anytime soon. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So, all right, a couple of Gamescom announcements to fly through here. We, of course, got a huge reveal of Black Ops 7. God, this Black Ops 7. I do think what they're doing with the campaign is kind of cool. You can now level up your battle pass, your weapons, etc. through doing the campaign, and there is a campaign mode that the co-op campaign is here. 4-player co-op campaign. I thought that was a really cool addition. And there is a mode that you can keep playing to farm XP even after you're done with the campaign. So I think that's kind of cool, like a hub area almost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a cool deal. I mean, they're swearing that we're going back. We're not going to have goofy animated skins anymore, like, Beavis and Butthead and shit running around. I'll believe it when I see it because they make so much money off skins like that. They're saying nothing from Black Ops 6 is going to carry forward in the 7, which, okay. I saw a lot of people who don't play Call of Duty kind of confused. They're like, well, does that ever happen? I'm like, yeah, actually, from Modern Warfare 2 to 3, things carried forward. Everything will continue to be usable in Warzone, but no skins, no guns are coming forward. Makes me feel a lot less bad about not playing Black Ops 6 for the last 6 months. Even though I enjoyed it, it just got to be too much.
Yeah.
So Black Ops 7, that's going to be a thing. It is going to release at $70, confirming that Microsoft is not going to do any $80 game this fall. And hopefully not ever, because I think that's a terrible decision.
Yeah, I wonder if they're seeing the blowback. I wonder if
they absolutely saw the fucking blowback.
Obviously, they saw it for Outer Worlds, but I wonder if all these other companies are seeing the blowback too. Of
I mean, we've gone on rants about this, but
except for Kirby and the Forgotten Land at $80 is the number one selling game on the Switch 2 eShop right now. Josh, I don't know if you know this or not.
I mean, I also attribute that to Nintendo never puts their games on sale, and they're at least including a new DLC with it.
I know. And
they're upcharging for Switch 2 versions. And it's just kind of a perfect amalgamation. I don't like it, but I get it. Mario Kart World released at 80, and I think every single studio in the world has seen the blowback. Not that World is not selling well, but it's also Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
When EA did not follow suit with Madden this year being 80 is when I was like, okay, maybe this won't be a thing. People are already reluctant enough to spend 70 on a game to jump to, I'll tell you something. If I see a game at 70, it better be something that I can't wait for, like Ghost of Yotei.
Mm-hmm. I'm
not buying a yearly release at $70. I'm not buying basically anything at 70, to be quite frank with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why?
Something I know I'm going to get hundreds of hours out of, or
at the
follow up to one of my most beloved games ever made.
I mean, at the rate these games drop in price, why would you ever pay $70? Yep. Right? I mean, unless you're
with the exception of a Nintendo game, and Nintendo knows they kind of have you by the dick there.
Yeah.
So, God, that's a whole nother conversation entirely.
But even they're pretty good at every couple months. They're pretty good at dropping games to $40. I mean, they just had a big Mario sale for $39.99.
Yeah, but the fact that you're still charging full price for something like Breath of the Wild 7 or 8 years after it came out is
they're still charging full price for new Super Mario Brothers U that came out, was a launch title for the Wii U. Josh,
I cannot give them credit because they occasionally knock 3 games down to $40 for a week. Oh boy. Every other company in the world eventually makes their games $10. Not you guys. That's great. That's fucking greed. Nobody hates their players more than Nintendo. But I've gone on that rant before. That's a rant for Pal Block. That's not a rant for here. I think this is all really silly.
Oh, you just reminded me. I need to find a guest for Palblock because Ed's at PAX.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Josh.
Um,
Would you like to talk Nintendo this weekend at some
I would
point?
like to talk Nintendo. Yes. Resident Evil Requiem got a new trailer. That game looks batshit scary.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I really liked 7. I wasn't the biggest fan of 8. I don't think 8 was bad, but I liked 7. 7 felt very, very horror in a way that the series hasn't felt in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like it's really picking up that thread and continuing with it. So excited for that.
I liked 4. I played 4.
Trying to keep this. I have the remake of 4 on my shelf, and I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I played it for we did a video game book club like a year ago.
I have not played 4 since the GameCube. This was me picking it up to finally play it again.
I mean, this was the first time I played 4, so because I don't do spooky games.
Man, that was the first horror game I ever convinced my parents to buy me.
Yeah,
And in reality, it was my dad buying it for me when my grandma was out of town. He made me beat it in one weekend, and then he went and sold it so that he wouldn't get in trouble. It was very funny. What are some other announcements that we had here? Cult of the Lamb is getting a DLC. I think that's awesome. Cult of the Lamb, great game. World of Warcraft Midnight got its opening cinematic shown. That's still not coming until next year, I believe.
That game, and Warcraft's still coming.
Warcraft's still coming. Still very, very profitable. Age of Empires 4 is coming to PS5.
Yeah, that's been rumored for a while. Those playtests have leaked for like quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Moonlighter 2 was really excited to see the early access release date for this get announced October 23rd. I'm excited. I like Moonlighter 1. I thought that was a really fun game.
People really like
this is a day one Game Pass game.
People really enjoy that Moonlighter.
October has very quietly gotten packed.
Yeah.
Because we saw a trifecta of games from Xbox that are all coming out within a week of each other. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks just phenomenal. Every single playtest we've seen from this game, everyone who's played it has been like, yeah, this is an amazing game. This is another one that I do not think is for me. As cool as I think it is, I simply do not have the reaction time or the skill to play these games well. So I look forward to watching people play this and living vicariously through them.
Yeah, I think the last one I played seriously was Ninja Gaiden Black, and that game broke me.
That game beat my ass so hard.
Man, what a
Outer Worlds 2 got another trailer with Ben Schwartz. I love that they're just leaning into him for this. It was all about the companions, and no, you cannot fuck them was basically the tone of the trailer. It's great. It's self-aware. This is some of the best marketing that Xbox, I think, has ever done for a game, has been the marketing campaign around Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, unfortunately, it was just marred by the price.
Yeah, I mean, they've really done a great job of, like... I still think the part 2 bit was hilarious. I still think that's the best thing I've seen in a long time.
That, like, we haven't even decided on the story or the name or anything yet. The original teaser for it?
No, the last one, I guess it was during Summer Showcase, right, where they're like, from the makers of Knights of the Republic Part 2, and then they did then they were like, Fallout 3 Part 2.
The original teaser for this back in 2021 was just absolutely hysterical. Like, that they very much were tongue-in-cheek about how, like, they hadn't decided anything for the sequel yet. Like, it's the same tone that they have in all these trailers and this and that. Like, you're tired of seeing CG shit, but here we go. Like, for the glory of capitalism, all this and that. I thought it was great. So
yeah, Obsidian's nailing it.
Obsidian, Xbox. They always fucking nail it. You want to know what the secret is? I think Aaron Greenberg was just banned from the set.
I mean, that's yes.
So
yes, he's banned from everything.
He's banned from everything.
Dude, I'm serious. I have not seen him post anything on social media, and guess what? Magically, there's Xbox stuff. Of course, PlayStation's the one advertising the Xbox stuff, but
he posts things, but all his comments are locked.
I mean, it's not just that though. The only thing he ever advertises are things you can't buy, like special edition controllers.
Sure.
You know.
I do like that the Design Lab is back. I didn't think it was worthy of a full story, but Design Lab is back, and the Doom and Witcher controller shells are going to be added to it later this year.
Yep, I saw that.
Very excited because I was very upset that I missed out on the Witcher controller. So I will be making a Witcher Elite controller.
I want them to add the translucent blue color, but they won't do that
without the rubber grips.
Yeah.
Death by Scrolling looks awesome. I don't know if that's coming to console or not. That looks awesome. Very quirky indie game that is up my alley. And we got some information on Keeper. We saw a little bit more about that, talking a little bit more about the mysterious lighthouse walking around. Dawn of War 4 got shown. I was unaware there was a Dawn of War 3. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Another Warhammer game. Lords of the Fallen 2 is apparently happening. Can't wait to ignore that one.
Wait, I thought they said they weren't doing a sequel because they're going to update the first game.
Dude, I don't fucking know, but they did show it, and it's coming out in 2026.
Okay.
So. Low key, one of the better announcements: Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I saw this, man. Everybody's like going nuts over this thing.
Play through all of the live action Batman movies, because at first I was just seeing the Christopher Nolan stuff. I was like, "Are we really doing a Christopher Nolan Batman game, like Lego Batman game?" And then you see right as I was saying that out loud, the Batmobile from the Robert Pattinson one was on screen.
Yeah. Are they doing the like the 89 Batman stuff too?
I believe so. I think they're doing all of them.
That's crazy.
The only one that I think they might not be doing is the Zack Snyder Batman, because he never appeared in a solo movie.
Yeah. I mean, that would make...
That would be the funniest fucking omission to me. Just go straight from the Christian Bale Batman to Robert Pattinson would be absolutely hysterical.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, you could do the Flash, I guess, right?
Monster Hunter Wilds and Final Fantasy XIV are getting crossovers in their respective games. This looks awesome. Chocobos in Monster Hunter, and then there is one of the monsters from Wilds is going to be in there along with Palicos. So I think that's
gotta awesome. Call up Laurent. Gotta find out this information.
Right.
What monsters showing up in Final Fantasy?
Saw a little bit more Onimusha. Yeah, it's much more Onimusha. Looks a little Souls inspired. I don't want to say it's a Souls like.
They've come out
into it.
They've come out and said though that it is not a Souls game.
That's fine to go ahead and say it. The footage is showing us another thing entirely though.
Yeah, I mean
the footage is definitely leaning into it.
Yeah, I mean the big bosses and the red orbs kind of feel Soulsy, but I mean Onimusha's always had the red orbs, so I don't know.
Sure. Fallout got a season 2 trailer and the release date December 17th. We're going to the Wasteland for Christmas, Corey. And it's like we all suspected.
Yep.
It's New Vegas time, but we're seeing it in both timelines. We're seeing it pre-bomb and post-bomb.
Yeah.
Along with seemingly our first Deathclaw.
I don't know what that means.
God, you...
I'm not a Fallout person, Josh.
Corey, I'm just so disappointed.
I know.
So disappointed.
So is our friend Liana, but that's fine.
I am very excited about Fallout, though. I think that the Fallout TV show is one of the best adaptations of any video game that we've gotten. The others being Arcane, and obviously, I think season 1 of The Last of Us is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You telling me you didn't like Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Josh?
I do like Sonic. To be honest, I kind of forget about. I see Sonic in theaters and then I just forget about it.
Yeah.
But I do like Sonic, and I do like the Mario movie was fine. I don't know if I loved it, but it was fine.
I didn't really care for the Mario movie.
It was fine. That's the best thing I can say about it. It was fine.
Mm-hmm. My kids like it, so like it's cool that they.
Yeah, I think if you're over the age of like 12 and you're like, oh my god, it was like the best thing ever, then you need to watch more movies.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC, Corey.
I know. Can't wait.
Oh, that's also next week. It's on Silksong Day.
I know.
So I'm gonna play through this, and then I'm doing nothing but Silksong for like 3 weeks.
What if there's a Silksong Easter egg in Order of Giants?
That would be hilarious and wonderful.
Or like a golden idol in Silksong that you find.
I'm excited about this because it is set during the base game. It is not following up on that post-credit scene. So that leaves me a little intrigued. They have kind of dropped hints that they have plans for a sequel, but they can't talk about it yet.
Clearly. I mean, obviously.
That would be an announcement I would drop next year at the summer showcase, just to be like, hey, this is in development. Yeah. If you're really celebrating like where Xbox has been and where it's going, that's something I would show off next year.
I wonder if a lot of their big games, like big sequels, will get announced next year, like Indiana Jones, maybe a Wolfenstein sequel, whatever id's working on.
Yeah, I feel like Wolfenstein has to come out before we get another Indiana Jones. I don't know what id is going to be working on because they just wrapped Dark Ages. Dark Ages is getting DLC though. It is worth noting. Yep.
Well, then that's probably what we'll get from them next year, right?
So. I think you're going to see DLC 1 before Christmas this year. I think they're going to drop it. And November is kind of like empty except for COD. So, other things that we had here. Oh, it is coming to Switch 2 as well. I'm very interested to see how this game runs on the Switch 2.
Yeah. So the weird thing about ports on Switch 2, what I've been hearing, because obviously like Elden Ring is like the big one people are pointing at right now. Developers seem to be having difficulty porting games to the ARM architecture part of the Switch 2, not necessarily that the specs are hard to port for, it's the ARM architecture in particular rather than x86 architecture. You know, because it's like part mobile, part, you know, something else. And it's like, that's what's throwing people off, I think.
Well, and there's still such a huge lack of development kits for Switch 2.
Yeah, that too.
Like multiple high-profile studios at Gamescom were talking to Digital Foundry and Chris Dirrig and a few other outlets and being like, yeah, we still don't have fucking dev kits.
Digital Extremes, right? The studio behind Warframe, they've been like clamoring for one for like 6 months. They've been asking for one because they want to port Warframe to Switch 2.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine everybody wants their games on there. Like, just look at the distinct lack of Switch 2 games or Switch 2 versions since the console came out. Like, even at its initial direct, a lot of stuff was like, "Oh, this is coming in the future. This is coming in the future. This is coming in the future."
Yeah.
So. Because, I mean, we keep wondering, like, oh, when are the next Xbox ports coming? And who knows? You know?
This is the first...
is also claiming that Starfield is coming next year.
Yeah, this is the... Indiana Jones is the first Xbox announcement, right?
Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's right, Tony. I keep forgetting Tony Hawk is theirs.
Tony Hawk and I believe there was one other one. I'll have to think on it. But I thought there was another one.
There might be.
Maybe I'm just misremembering. And then the last thing, there is a Sekiro anime coming. This looks awesome. It did get wrapped up in a little bit of controversy because the studio has a lot of AI initiatives, but they are like, no, there is no AI used for this at all. I thought that this teaser looked really, really awesome. It's coming to Crunchyroll. I'm excited to see this. And I hope it's good. I can't imagine that From and Miyazaki would let them make something knowing that AI is part of it. So I am excited to see this. Anything that expands these game worlds. And this is how I think a lot of things should be adapted, is as an anime or as an animated series, because that allows you more freedom. It is so hard to do things within a budget on television that are game adaptations because of how grandiose some of these stories are. Games are so cinematic these days. It's really, really hard. That's always been my argument against Naughty Dog, adapting their games. That's my argument against God of War. That's my argument against Halo. Like, Halo was great when you did Halo Legends. You did a series of anime shorts. Great. Do more shit like that. You can get away with all these fantastical things that people do. I have my skepticism about a Gears of War movie from Netflix. Partially because it's Netflix, partially because it's live action Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'll watch it.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not saying I won't, but I'm going to complain about it the whole time. I feel like the bar has just been so raised now, even in terms of like animation. You know, we just talked about Arcane. Like, Arcane that's something that takes place inside the League of Legends world, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that raises the bar. Something like The Last of Us raises the bar for what an adaptation should be, by and large. Sonic the Hedgehog shows how, you know, you can take a beloved franchise and you can make a new twist on it for a new generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mario is also doing that for better or worse. You know, Zelda is going to do that for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Fallout, against all odds, Fallout has shown us that you can make a new story and it can be canonical to your universe. But Fallout is also, I would imagine, insanely expensive to make.
Oh, I'm sure.
It being one of like the 3 flagship shows for Amazon right now, though, like one of their 3 ones that they're spending just a ton of money on, alongside Rings of Power and The Boys, which The Boys is about to end anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes me think that they're more than okay with investing in, and I wonder how much Microsoft is paying on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, they're fine with spending the money, whoever's subsidizing this or whoever's, you know, paying the bulk of the cost, because Wolfenstein was just announced from this same team.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh god, that gives me hope that they can do Doom. I would kill for a Doom series. I'd want a Doom anime, though, I think.
Yeah.
I get Doom anime could be really cool. There's this awesome anime I've been watching this season called To Be Hero X on Crunchyroll, which does like 3 or 4 different types of animation in it, and it changes depending on whose story it is and whatnot. I think that's a really, really cool approach, but it's made by a Chinese studio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hand some stuff there. I think Sekiro looks really, really cool. Like, man, give me a Doom series in the style of that.
Mm-hmm.
That could be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, you could do some really, really cool things. Give me a Halo one. Like, there are ways to do this. Like, I don't know if they're still working on Paramount. Supposedly is still working on a Grounded series.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, so I kind of laughed when Microsoft was like, yeah, no, we see this as a major tentpole IP. And then, you know, you look at the player count numbers for Grounded 1 and the sales, you look at what Grounded 2 has already done in a month. It's already sold over 3 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool. Expand the universes however you want. As long as it's done good, as long as it's good quality, I'm fine with it. Like, you know, love it or hate it, the Minecraft movie, look how insanely popular that was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want stuff like that, but there's no denying that was a hit with kids.
Right.
And you make entertainment smart for kids, though, by doing something like Sonic the Hedgehog and not Minecraft.
Right.
That's the end of my rant there.
Hmm.
Do you have anything else, Corey? I think we're kind of wrapping up here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Unless you have anything else you wanna say.
No. I mean, all I've really been playing is Grounded right now, so I'm playing a lot of Grounded 2. I'm gonna start Gears as soon as we get off here. Planning to run through the first mission or 2 with some friends who have a 4-day weekend. Yeah, that's about it for me right now. I'm really just playing that, and I'm kind of in a holding pattern until next week. Silksong and Order of Giants.
Yeah.
The next Xbox Casuals. It's basically just gonna be like a game dump of everything we've been playing.
Essentially. Yeah.
So
well, I've been shooting a lot of stuff, so I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about a lot of things. So everybody out there, thank you so much for watching or listening to Xbox Casuals, the Xbox podcast. You can find us every other Friday, along with our sister show, Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen. Josh, thanks for your time tonight, as always. Appreciate you. Yeah. Leave us a 5-star rating, like the video, say hello, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching and or listening, and until next time, we love you. Goodbye.